Woohoo! Hey everybody, welcome to Hex Token live stream number 2. Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex, of course. We live it and breathe it on this channel, and so do you. So that's pretty cool. It's great to see you here. We're going to wait for a few people to come in, of course, and I'm going to get an intro for the channel. Going to work on that. So it's one of my many items on the list. So it's going to be pretty cool. So let's wait for a few people to come in. We're going to just slow walk this video today. Of course, we're looking at Hex price prediction for August 2022. Such an interesting date, right? Not for 2022, but for August 2022. So we're going to talk about that. And of course, Hedron Maximus mega Hex lockup. We're going to look at that, the drivers for this price prediction, of course. And of course, we're also going to look at the bullish buy pressure as well. So mega lockup and bullish buy pressure are expected in August, all going well. Obviously, it depends on everything launching at the right time, but looks pretty good at this stage. So we're going to have a lot of look at that. A lot of people not expecting it. A lot of people not aware of it. Of course, many of you are because you watch this channel, you watch other channels, you keep up to date with the latest and greatest projects. But of course, we're going to spread the word, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to wait for a few minutes for people to catch up. Let's get into the chat. Got a few people in the house already. So let me check the audio is okay. Sounds like audio is good. So I'm going to put that on mute on my other computer. And of course, we're on live chat. So that's nice. Let's see who's in the house. We've got Icosa in the house there. Good morning from Cheshire. Hey, big shout out to everybody in the UK. I know you guys just wake up around about now. So it's probably pretty early still. Big shout outs Monday. Be Monday morning there. Of course, here in good old New Zealand, it is currently 5:37 p.m. on Monday, the 18th of July. We're well in the future. Some of you from the United States and other parts of around the world probably still on Sunday, late Sunday or something like that. So cool. We've got Hex HP in the house. Woohoo! Happy Monday to you, Hex Token, and happy Sunday for those not living in the future. That's right. We're living in the future here. That's pretty cool. And John's in there too. Hex Token channel represent with the Rockets. We are powering up. We're just ramping up. I don't know if you've noticed, we were ramping up on this channel. That is really working nicely. Chris P. Bacon in the house. G'day from sunny Western Australia. G'day, Chris. G'day. It's good to see Chris in the house. And Wookie too. Good to see Wookie. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, nice questions in Discord lately, Wookie. We love the inquisitive style. KD as well. Hey, Superman, good to see you. And nice to see KD. Unimax in their high almost 11 p.m. on Sunday. Man, oh man, you guys are miles behind us, but you're almost at the end of the Sunday. Almost a welcoming Monday, and by the time this live stream's finished, it'll be probably be the case. Unimax says just came back from a bar. Says Uni, nice one. Hope you had a few pints for us, the rest of us. And Pearl's in there waving from Australia. Hey, good to see you. We've got people from the UK, people from Australia. Let me know in the chat where you're from. Actually, we've got Australia and the UK mostly represented at the moment. So big shout out. And get in there and let us know where you're from. It'd be pretty cool. We've got more people to come in. So I think there's a pretty important live stream, this one. And of course, tomorrow we'll be going more in depth as well. So stay tuned for tomorrow. I have to do some mathematical calculations at some stage, so we're going to get into that too. Wookie in the house. Woo-hoo-hoo. Hey, good to see Wookie. And of course, Uni says I had like 5 vodkas. Vodkas. Oh yeah, no beers, just the vodkas. It's the old Russian vodkas. Nice. Was it Das Vidanya? Was it Spasiba, things like that. So cool. That's about as much Russian as I know. What else I was going to say? I'm going to be on Crypto Stevens channel. He's in the UK. And so I'm going to be on Crypto Stevens channel in the UK. That's coming up in a couple hours time. Let's see how many hours. 3 or 5.5 plus 4, about 4 hours time. I'll be on Crypto Stevens channel. So some of you may already follow Crypto Steven. So I'm going to be on there. So that's going to be a bit of fun. I think it's going to be my second or third time I've been on another channel. So I think I've been on Gen Hex. Just trying to think of any other channel I've been on. I can't remember. Maybe I've been on one other. I just cannot remember. I'll be on Crypto Stevens in about 4 hours time. That'll be a bit of fun. Now, Crypto Stevens channel is about the same size as this. And of course, he's got a big UK audience out there. So it should be a lot of fun. Who else is in the house there? Ben in there. G'day from Las Vegas. Once again, I will put in some links into the community tab here on Hex Token about that Crypto Stevens guest appearance there, and also into the Discord as well later on. What's up, Texkin? Sintop says, Stephen Bear says it's Crypto 7. Crypto 7, that's funny. I'm already botching it up before I even get there. So Crypto 7, what did I say? Stephen Crypto? Crypto Stephen? No, Crypto 7. Thanks very much, Stephen. Appreciate that. It is Crypto 7. Nice one. Hey, another classic from good old Superman in the house. All right, so let's ramp it up. And it's been a long day. I'm doing lots of YouTube stuff and all this and that. It's just the way it works. But hey, we've got hex.com, folks. That's where we're landing. And of course, we're going to look at the Hex price prediction for August 2022. Hex, Hedron, and Maximus mega lockup and bullish buy pressure is going to be epic. A lot of people not expecting this, and I was there too, not expecting it. But it's ramping up pretty fast. Pearl says, big hands out there. And Chris P says, Crypto 7 just got a new nickname. Oh, really? Oh, did I just give it to him? Oh, hey, that's an accident. Yeah, he'll probably have me on if he ever watches this before the live stream. He'll probably have me on with that. That'll be funny. All right, so cool. Let's get onto it. Hex.com, folks. If you're not familiar, get into it. It's huge, and we're going to talk about how big it's going to be as well. It really is the better Bitcoin, and you guys are going to see that over the years ahead. And already, it was pretty much the best crypto for 18 months, pretty much in the bull market. So cool. And of course, it's actually somewhat uncorrelated from the rest of the market. So it mirrors sometimes, doesn't mirror at other times. And of course, I think that we've got a good chance of absolute moon math coming out here. So let's get into it. So Richard Hart here has got a cool update from Robbie Davidson, huge Hexagon and Pulsechain in the community. And of course, he goes, listen very carefully. If you were around before big payday, and of course that was November 2020, that you remember how strong the FUD was. The Hex was going to crash, burn right after big payday, never to recover. And guess what? It didn't. Bum, 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 bum. I think we're at another moment like that, another crossroad like that at this stage coming up in your near future. We're going to talk about that. And of course, went on to make all new time highs there, all-time highs. Don't underestimate Hex. And that's what this live stream is about today. It's going to be pretty cool. So it's a cool video there. We're going to pull it in and play that, and then we're going to repeat part of it. So listen carefully to this one. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Payday, like, oh my God, the price might go down. And you're like, first of all, the price has gone down a shitload of times. That's what it does. It's gone down 85%, 70%, 70%, 60%. You're like, yeah, that's fine. It's made to do that. It's giving people the opportunity to buy tops to sell bottoms. Well, who makes that profit that those guys lost? Somebody else in the ecosystem. People usually with longer investment horizons. And then it went on to make new all-time highs after every single one of those. So people are all like,
the numbers with this whole thing are just so crazy to me. That's why, people will notice in this video, I'm just like shaking my head because we talked right when this was launching, and you know, people had questions about it. I had questions about it. I still am waiting to see what's going to happen, you know, at the big payday and things like that. But the numbers.
What is the worst thing that could happen? The price goes down. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's done that over and over again.
It would have
as long as you've got guys buying something and locking it up for 15 years, nothing else matters. Nothing matters because it's like miraculous. You wouldn't even think it was possible. Like you wouldn't happen. You don't even believe it. Like I was shocked. I was just staring at the chart like, what the fuck just happened? Is there a bug? Is there an error? What's going on? And then you start clicking through people's wallets and you're like, fuck, these guys are all flush with ETH, man. Flush. Just 20 million here, 30 million there, 70 million there. You're like, yeah, man. Like, and they believe. So there's never been anything in history that I'm aware of in any financial product where people have shown this much provable long-term belief in something. I don't think anything has ever existed like this. People are thinking about this.
So we're going to watch this at least two more, not the whole thing, but we're going to watch two little part of it twice there. So this is a very pivotal video. So we're going to watch this two parts. Listen very carefully to this part because this is what we're going to build on in this live stream.
Nothing else matters. Nothing matters. It's done that over and over again.
It would have
as long as you've got guys buying something and locking it up for 15 years, nothing else matters.
So there we are. As long as you got guys buying up things and locking them up for 15 years, nothing else matters. So as long as you got people locking it up, 15 years, and nothing else matters. It reduces the velocity of crypto movement. It is humongous, right? So that's what this whole live stream is going to be about. We're going to be building on this idea. So let's just play this one more time.
Yeah.
Well, it's done that over and over again.
It would have
as long as you've got guys buying something and locking it up for 15 years, nothing else matters. Nothing matters, because that, like, you can't, it's like miraculous.
It's like miraculous. And so we're going to be talking about that. That is the key thing. It's part of the magic of Hex. So the Hex average stake length now is 6.6 years. 6.6 years is pretty crazy. So nice one there. So we're going to dwell on that one. Just remember that. Take that with us as we move forward. We're going to probably come back to that and play that one more time later on. Pretty cool. All right. So that is pretty cool. Who else is Belief? So here we're at this pretty pivotal moment. We had big payday. We've got these big things coming up. Hex has had a big retrace, 94.5% down to 2.8 cents a little while ago. And of course, this is where we are. We're bounced back. We were pretty much around 4 cents at the moment last time I checked. And away we go. Now we've got Rack and Rochelle, a big whale. Some people say we've got between 6 and 8 billionaires around the place, somewhat involved in some capacity with the Hex Pulsechain ecosystem. Here's one of them, of course, Rack and Rochelle Overwatch, who's actually building a lot of stuff on Pulsechain. Obviously, a big Hex whale. They got 5 accounts that they operate out of, all that good stuff. And here's what he's got to say: Hex, Pulse X, cool, not cool. BDC, ETH, BNB, XRP, ADA, Solana, Dodge, DOT, DAI, and Tron, and SHIB. So this is pretty interesting stuff. We're having a bit of a pivot going on in the marketplace. It really is powerful. And so we're going to move on from there. So there we are. That's our context. That's our environment that we're in. And what have we got coming up? Of course, we've got a mega lockup coming in Hex potentially. So we're going to talk about the potential of this. And of course, obviously, we've got 2 things: the probability of the event and the timing of the event. Those are the 2 things. So I've put the date in it as August. We're going to look at the probability of the event of a mega lockup, and of course, bullish buy pressure onto Hex coming up. And this is not too far away. We're going to look at the timeline. It's going to be pretty cool. So we've got Icosa coming up. Of course, Icosa's coming up. It's going to be pretty amazing. And we're going to be pretty amazing there. So Icosa's coming up, and Icosa is a protocol which builds upon Hedron protocol to add Hedron staking and additional incentives to staking Hex, as well as jumpstarting the Hedron borrowing system. Icosa is built by the same team behind the Hedron protocol, ensuring seamless integration. So that's pretty much that in a nutshell. It's made up of 3 components. Basically, you can stake Hedron, and of course, you're going to get Hedron and Icosa. It's going to take 30 days before you get any Icosa, so that's not the fastest way to get Icosa, right? So that's pretty important. The second part, of course, is that you can do HSI stakes on Hedron, and of course, you need Hex for that. So that's bullish for the Hex price. Typically, some of it's going to come from liquid wallets. Some will probably come from buying on the market. So it's bullish for the Hex price. And of course, that gets locked up in HSIs, and that gets put into the Icosa system. That's bullish for that. And of course, whatever gets sold to the Icosa contract will then be used to be borrowed against. So they borrow Hedron against that HSI stake once they own it. And of course, they will then put that Hedron back to the Icosa stakers who will earn that. And of course, the HSI stake itself will go into default because it borrowed, it won't pay back within 90 days. And then that will go back. That will go up for auction. People will bid on that auction, HSI auction. And of course, the Hedron that wins that bid will then get the HSI stake. And of course, the Hedron will then get burnt. So pretty awesome mechanism there. And of course, we're going to look forward. That's a cyclical process going to keep going. Of course, people who buy the HSI then could sell it back to the Icosa contract, and away we go. The third component, of course, is we are all the SA. That's going to be a short-term thing. So we are the SA. So SA stands for source address. It's a bit like the OA for the Icosa contract, but it's a little different. But in any case, you're going to bid with Hedron on the NFTs that are there. And of course, you'll be able to, the higher you bid, the more points you get. And of course, the bigger weighting that will be when you actually stake that. You'll be able to stake the NFT, and you'll be able to earn Icosa forever. And of course, the last person, if you unstake and capture that yield, you are out of the pool. The last man standing, as it were, will have basically Icosa forever. So it's going to be fascinating to see that play out. And that mint phase is going to be 14 days. So it's pretty bullish indeed. Pretty bullish a way to go. So there's certain bonuses as well for doing certain things in terms of staking as well. So there's other stuff there. So it's going to be pretty powerful. We know that HSI stakes and Hedron have already locked up 350 million hex. And of course, what else is going to happen when Icosa goes live and you've got that 14-day, when you've got the stakes where you're going to be able to sell your HSI buybacks to the Icosa contract, massive buy pressure potentially for Hex, and of course, also locking up circulating supply of Hex. So it's going to be pretty cool. We love it. We love it. So that's pretty much that. And the other thing, of course, is that Alex has given us a nice little flow chart, which you can see how that all works. We've got the Hedron staking. And of course, you can mint Hedron, buy Hedron, borrow Hedron. And of course, then you can stake your Hedron. You can then in-stake and yield, get yield in Icosa. And of course, reclaim and get the Hedron principal back. And then, of course, you can recycle that Hedron and stake again. And away you go. So that's pretty cool. With the HSI buybacks, you can sell your HSIs, which have Hex in it. You need Hex for it. So that's eating up Hex out of the circulating supply. And of course, putting buy pressure onto Hex on the market. And of course, remember, there's not much Hex in the market. Last time we checked, there was about 185 million Hex, not a lot at all. And of course, that's pretty powerful. So you're going to be able to sell your HSI stakes that you make on the Hedron platform into the Icosa contract. And of course, it's going to take that. And as I say, it will use that to borrow against, pay the stakers over here in Hedron. And of course, then put that HSI stake up for auction. And that will get bid up on the platform there for Hedron, which is pretty cool. So that is on the Hedron platform. We're going to bring that up too, just so you can see that. And of course, let us go to the dApp there. I've actually got this one on the wrong side here. So let's pull this up so you can see the dApp. And of course, that means that if you want to make an HSI stake, you have to put Hex in here. And of course, the stake length there, you get bonuses for 555 stakes. So you get a 10% bonus for 555 stake. And of course, if you've got Hedrons in it, you get also a bonus for that. So that's pretty cool. You've got a bonus for the claim phase. The other thing, of course, what happens is that the HSI, the Icosa contract, once it gets the HSI, it will be able to borrow against those. And then it will then not repay after 90 days, it will go to the active liquidations there and get bid on. So a beautiful looking mechanism there by Alex, looking very cool. So that's these two to combine. And then, of course, we've got We Are All the SA over here. And, of course, people are going to mint that NFT. They have to bid with the Hedron. Whatever the price you want to pay, the more you pay, the bigger the points you get. And, therefore, the more a proportion of the pool you're going to get. You're going to earn Icosa. And if you want to claim that Icosa that you get over any period of time, you're going to be out of the pool. It's a one-time offer, man. This thing is a badass little gamification. A lot of people are very excited for that for sure. So if we zoom down on this a bit further, let me just take that in. You can see it on the bottom here. We've got Quattro Cinco, 10% bonus. So HSI buyback bonuses. So that's this one in the middle here. If you get a 10% for selling a 555 stake, you get a 1 to 10% for selling an HSI with a Hedron launch bonus. Remember, there's a 100-day launch bonus. We started off at 10x and then went down to 1x as well. So that's pretty cool. Get bonuses for that, for the HSI selling in here. Hedron Icosa staking bonuses. If you're greater than 1% of Hedron supply, minimum stake length 360 days, 20% bonus for Icosa yield only. All right, so you get bonuses if you're a while there. Let's get all that big supply off the market because there's so many trillions of Hedron. Sharks get a bonus as well, 15%. Dolphins get 10%. Squids get 5% there for the Hedron staking. So that's to do with this part here. So this update here is about selling your HSI stake. This stuff here is the bonuses you get for staking Hedron, depending on how big you are in the ecosystem there. A Squid, of course, with the 0.001% of Hedron will get a 5% bonus with a 90 days minimum there. So minimum stake length is 30 days, no bonus. So that's what I said. The only people that will be getting Icosa straight off the gate are the HSI people that are selling HSIs. Bullish for Hex. Woo-hoo-hoo! I feel so excited about that. I'm going insane in the membrane. That is so cool. So that is super bullish. Man, oh man, the more I read the stuff, the more bullish I get. So that's pretty powerful. And of course, let's have a look where Hedron is up to. I apologize for my enthusiasm. It's just out of this world at the moment. And of course, let's have a look where the contract's at this moment. Icosa contract. Okay, so this update. This is from the 14th of July. And of course, we're now on the 17th or 18th, depending on where you are. And of course, here we are, Icosa contract code published. It is published. And the Pulsechain testnet is soon. So you can actually see that on the GitHub there. So it's published on the GitHub. And of course, the code is published and the Pulsechain testnet is soon. So there'll be private testing first and then public testnet is going to be awesome. So it's coming up, folks. And we're only in the 17th, 18th July, just past the middle of the month. August is looking bullish, bullish. And of course, we've got two ways. We've got Hex lockup, and we've got a bullish price pressure here from Hedron coming up. This is all happening really fast. And of course, a lot of people taking off, you know, it's taking them from the sideways action or something like that. It's really is off guard. And of course, so fun. We got a few comments in the chat here. Let me just jump over to a few of these before I move on. We're going to get up here. Lies beneath in the house there. Hex, EHEX, PLS, and PLSX for the win. Absolutely. And of course, Hex is getting massively pumped with the Hedron and the Maximus. Mexican Hexkin. Woohoo! Hex is the GOAT. It is, man. That circulating supply. We're going to sum that all up at the end. So stay tuned right to the end because we got the main event happening at the end here. What up, family? Says Hex, human Hex trafficker. Really cool. Hex staking is going to be up. That's for sure. Davis is in the house there. Hex Token channel member representing. Free Orca says human Hex trafficker. That's true. Liquid Loans looks really great. Friendly. Would be great. Onboarding. True, Davis. And of course, we played that UI earlier today in the first live stream. It looks pretty good. On 2X to catch up from sunny Queensland. Hey, Spirit Falcon, good to see you in the house. And a Superman Pump says, hey, KD, I am super pumped. Pimp is in the house there. What Hex price prediction for the month of August? Stay tuned. Pimp, a BBQ. This is what this is all about. So listen very carefully. It's not just a number there, Pimp. It's the whole thing. We're talking about this whole live stream is pumpamental here. So stay tuned. If you've got to listen very carefully, don't just wait for a number at the end. It's all about the pumpamentals that are playing out. So it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, cool. That is what's happening. So the Icosa code is published. Pulsechain testnet is soon. This was from the 14th there. So really, really exciting. This is all coming down the pipeline. Locking up Hex and, of course, pumpamental for the buying of Hex on the market as well. 350 million Hex already locked up in the HSIs, and this is supercharging that with staking and deflation and, of course, a few one-time opportunities with the We Are All SA as well. So staking and HSI buybacks, bullish. It's so cool. So we're going to post in a couple of these. Let's jump on for the house. I'm going to post some of these in links in the chat there. Save them to your favorites. If you want to learn more, read some in your own time. Here is a couple of the links. We're going to post in all these links into the chat here for Icosa. And let me just jump on to, obviously, Hedron as well. And bam. And what else? We got Alex as well in here with the launch date that we're at the current status that we're currently at the moment. Man, oh man, I'm super excited, man. I'm pumped. I don't know about you guys. Here's the Hedron price at the moment. It is currently at 729 with 6 zeros in front of it. It's 729 with 6 zeros. And liquidity in the pool is 370,000. The market cap 61 million. It is looking incredible. Let's have a look at the total supply of Hedron. 83 trillion of Hedron in there. The staking with Icosa is really going to help lock up a lot of this Hedron. People are going to go stake it. What percentage will be staked? That's going to be interesting. Now, there are some bullish things here for the contract, of course. If you're a whale, you'll get a 20% bonus if you do a minimum stake of 360 days. A shark will get 15% bonus for 240 days minimum. A dolphin will get 180 days with a 10% bonus. A squid will get 90 days with a 5% bonus. Very, very cool. Now, I posted the link in the chat there if you want to look at this diagram. And, of course, minimum stake length is 30 days, which means the only way to get Icosa will be to sell your HSI stakes. The only way to get HSI stakes is either to make one yourself using liquid Hex that you've got in your wallet, or to buy Hex on the market, or to buy an HSI stake on OpenSea and sell that back to the Icosa contract. Bullish. That's all I can say. Bullish. It's pretty amazing. It's worth singing about. That's what I might say there. So that's looking good. And, of course, we know that the contract code is done. Testnet, public testnet will be soon. Private testing, audits, of course, and then a live. And, of course, this could happen in August based on this current timeline. It is looking good. Obviously, official dates and announcements to be made by Alex and the Icosa team there. But pretty good indication at the moment. Very, very cool driver. So Hedron here had a nice little run up here too. And, of course, trying to get back over that 1,000 mark. Well, let's see how we go over the next few weeks. The next few weeks look good for Hedron. And, of course, the flow in there from the buy pressure to Hex looking good. All right, we're going to move on. That was the Hedron update. That's one of two major pumpamentals coming for Hex in the near term. And, of course, I've looked at targeted pretty much August for that based on the current information we have at the moment. Thinkerade says, if it's so bullish, why is Hex going nowhere and Ether's booming, says Thinkerade. I appreciate that comment. And can Hedron reach, this is coming up, Thinkerade. You've got to think through, this is not live now, right? It's in the future. You need to put your thinking cap on there. But Pearl's in house there. Can Hedron reach 1 cent in 5 years? Who knows, Pearl? Who knows? And of course, Warped Impulse, what's up, bro? Woo-hoo-hoo. Good to see Warped Impulse. All right, so cool. We've got 729 is current price, going to look really bullish as well. All right, so let's move on. We've got 83 trillion Hedron. Let's see what happens when this contract launches. It's going to be pretty fun to see. All right, we're going to jump on to, no, we're not getting up to that point yet. I have to move that over there. We're getting up to Maximus now. Maximus, and of course, Maximus has been performing super well. In fact, I need to pull up that chart. So let me just pull that chart up there. We're going to get into Maximus and let us go to Maximus Hex. All right, so here is our chart for Maximus. So Maximus at the moment, the treasury value is 12,311,000. Already the contract is up at 314 million Hex in the contract. This is the last time we checked, it was the number 30 biggest whale in the Hex ecosystem. It's pretty massive. And of course, the backing per maxi there, 4.2 cents is the current backing. The market price is 7.8. Can you believe it? So this is the treasury price at 4.2 cents, but it's way higher. The premium is way higher. In other words, it's factoring in value in the future. And of course, I think last time I checked, it's probably about 2 years, something like that. Was the last time I had a check of that. And of course, it's massive in any case. So we've got the treasury in Hex here, 340 million. That now includes 20,409,000 Hex has been accrued into this treasury DAO. This is a staking pool. And of course, that's absolutely massive. So this is all the way back from April the 16th. Just incredible. 294.3 million Hex. And now there's 314 million there, 20,400,000 Hex has been accrued. And of course, the Hedron there has also been accrued. 5.7 million Hedron in there. Now that's not going to end up in the HSI sellings to Icosa, but imagine if it could. That'd be pretty interesting. But pretty nice there. That is being accrued. Obviously, got to mint that too. You got to mint that. Wow. So nice. Here we are. The total there looking spectacular. Fantastic. So this is done super well in the market, and of course the price is absolutely bullish. Look at this price, insane in the membrane. We're currently at 7.9 cents. Let's switch over the price here. And boom. Let us claim up to here. There is our premium. We're going to close that. Oh, what did I do there? I actually closed the wrong box there. Sorry about that. I'm going to come back in again. I actually closed this box. I'm not sure why that happened. We're going to wait for it to populate again. We're going to back to the premium. The premium is spectacular on the old Maxi there. So looking good. Woohoo! Yep. All right. So we're at 100% premium at the moment. And of course, 100% premium is incredible, and it's broken out of the channel and away it's going. So how high is this going to go? That's going to be an interesting question. The market's going to decide. But of course, we're still at least weeks away from the launch of the Maximus contracts, which are going to be absolutely amazing when you get into that now. Let's get into a couple of the comments though before we move on. Brizolji, hey everybody, good to see Briz in the house. Very cool. And of course, here we are at 2 there. So we're going to jump back into, before we get onto the deep side of this, we're going to get Richard back and play this bit out again. So this is the key part, right? So we've got Hedron there with massive HSI Hex staking potential, and of course 350 million already so far. And this was without Icosa, which is mind-blowing, staking Hedron and the rest of it. And of course, number 2, the only way you get Icosa in the first 30 days too is to sell your HSI stakes to it, so it's pretty powerful. And of course, the other thing is, of course, this is locking it up for a long period of time. Those HSI stakes, 13 years is the average stake length in the HSI stakes, so super bullish as well. So let's listen to Richard about how powerful the staking is in Hex.
The price goes down. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's done. It's done that over and over again.
It would have
as long as you've got guys buying something and locking it up for 15 years, nothing else matters. Nothing matters, because you can't. It's like miraculous. You wouldn't even think it was possible. Like when it happened, you don't even believe it. Like I was shocked. I was just staring at the chart, like, what the fuck just happened? Is there a bug? Is there an error? What's going on?
All right, so it just shows you locking up is the key here. And of course, this is what we're seeing with these new products. These second layer derivative products are eating up the circulating supply. We're going to summarize that later on in the live stream, so stay tuned for that. Remember, this is forward-looking fundamentals. It's not about today. Don't get confused about that. It's about forward-looking things that are coming up very soon. So it's very exciting. All right, we're going to jump over to Dipcatcher. Of course, the dev for Maximus. Man, oh man, looking good here. Maximus, this is the 17th of July. Maximus perpetuals. So perpetuals means that they're going to have different time periods for the staking pools, and they're going to repeat and repeat and repeat forever. So that's what it basically is. Hex stake pools that repeat forever. Is that mind-blowing or what? You heard Richard just say, locking up Hex for long periods of time. This is the game. It reduces the velocity of crypto moving. And, of course, it is pumpamental for the price up and to the right. It really is so powerful. And, of course, we've got these mechanisms supercharging the Hex contract. So it's absolutely fantastic. So we've got the base coming up there 1 year, the trio for 3 years, the lucky for 7 years, and the Decky token there for 10 years. Those are the 4 perpetuals. They've obviously already got Maxi up there, which is 15.2 years. And, of course, you saw how powerful that is. Let us not forget that has already earned almost 20.5 million Hex has already accrued. And it's only been going since about the April the 16th. So it's pretty amazing value, including the Hedron, 5.7 a billion of Hedron. So it's pretty powerful stuff. The Maximus DAO team member tokens. This is the first one that's different from the rest of them. So it's different from the other 5. And of course, the team there, stake team, to earn some yield from perpetuals and other bonuses. So you're going to be earning part of the big paydays bonus from the base and trio and lucky and Decky. And of course, and other bonuses. So it's going to be pretty cool. You're also going to be getting the 369 as well. So you're going to be getting part of the Maxi that's used for the team. You need Maxi for the base trio, lucky Decky. You need Hex. So you're either going to use liquid Hex that's sitting in your wallet that you might have sold, or you staked it yourself, or you have to buy Hex on the market, just like people have to get Hex if they're going to buy it for HSI stakes and they have it in their wallet. You have to buy Hex, so you're going to have to buy Hex here too. Pretty major here. Awesome stuff. So the other thing, if these all sort of driving towards the bigger pays better, so people want to get the bigger pays better, that's 150 million Hex. Each of these contracts you could use as a potential target, just like we did for Maxi. We had 150 million for Maxi. Now, Maxi obviously is a longer stake, 15.2 years. But of course, the success of that is self-evident in the chart. It absolutely is phenomenal. Look at this premium over Hex, 100%. It's pretty mind-blowing from that point of view. So it's going to be pretty powerful. Obviously, for Maximus, they're going to actually use Maxi. So they're going to be reducing that Maxi supply. And of course, we saw in the contract that Maxi supply is just down here. So there we are, 294.3 million Maxi in supply. And that's going to be eating up some of that. How much is going to go into the team token? Question mark. No one knows. And that's amazing. So we've got that coming up. That's going to be absolutely huge. So that is going to eat up a lot of the Maxi supply. And of course, we just don't know how much, but it's going to be interesting to find out. And of course, that's also some of that's 30% of that's going to be burned. Some 30% is going to go to the 369, etc. So it's going to be pretty powerful tokenomics. Obviously, the more people that go into base trio and lucky and Decky, the more value that will go into the team token as rewards from the perpetuals. So it means the people that are going to the team token really need to spread the word as well. The more that goes into those other tokens, the better that they will earn. Now, the other thing, of course, is one strategy is also, and not only do you go into base trio, lucky and Decky, maybe you go into one of them, maybe you go into all of them. All of them would be a nice staking ladder. Also, that they all have the bigger pays better bonus potentially if they all get up over 150 million or reach that 150 million target. And of course, that 10% bigger bonus, but really longer pays better is the majority of it. But that upside to your premium is that bigger pays better bonus as well. And of course, on top of that, you also have optionality with the contract. You can sell the ownership tool. You don't lose your Hex that you put in there. These tokens are the ownership tokens of the Hex that you put in there. And of course, that Hex that you put in there gets staked out for 1 year, 3 years, 7 years, 10 years, forever. It just keeps repeating unless you decide to redeem it at the end of these particular terms. So at the end of 1 year, you redeem your base token. You'll get the Hex and the yield that's in there after that. And if for 3 years, you'd get the same thing, etc., etc. Now, at the end of the year, of course, you can do nothing and you can just let it roll over, or you can decide to mint at the new rate. So the new rate would be with including the yield rate, and you'll be able to enter it again and add into there. So it's pretty powerful stuff. And all these just go on and on and on and on. Hex, which is underlying there, just keeps staking over and over and over. And of course, it sucks Hex out of the market, either liquid Hex in your wallet that you may have sold or may not have sold. You may have staked it. but it also puts buy pressure on the markets big time, big time. And of course, we did see the influence of Maxi on the market in Hex when that was going through its 14-day mint phase. So pretty cool. Now, these are also expected to go through 14-day mint phases, and then in the future, 7-day mint phases when they do their rollovers. So pretty cool. Now, we've got so much cool stuff happening in there. It really is cool. And of course, let's jump over to the next update. So that's an overview of the products that are coming out for Maximus. We're going to get into which ones people are liking at the moment. There was a poll by Maximus. Which of the perpetuals do you like the most? We already saw out of 189 votes, 42% like the base token. That's the short one, and that will likely be the more the liquidity pool type of, because it's got the shortest time frame. You got to remember these things are going to get paired up with all sorts of different pairings, PLS, and so if you get into this now, you're going to get a copy on Pulsechain for sure. So you're getting a 2-for-1 deal on this as well. So not only just getting one passive income and of course one ownership pool, liquidity options and all that, you're actually getting a copy on Pulsechain as well. So it's a 2-for-1 deal, obviously. And of course, on top of that, you're also going to be able to, there's going to be all these liquidity pool plays with other tokens like PLS and stable coins, who knows what else in there as well. So it's going to be pretty incredible. We've got the Trio, the Lucky, and the Decky. Of course, Trio there, 15.9% of people said they want to go into that. Lucky had 12.7% and Decky 29.1% in the poll. So which of the perpetuals do you like the most? So it's just the most, not the fact that you don't like them all. Many people like them all. And I think there was a comment down here. All of the above, says Professor Rex, all of the above. So definitely see that. And Suzanne Troy here, there's power in any of them. It's a buffer of premium stakes. So that's really the way I look at it. Not only is it a pool stake, but they're premium stakes with the extra yield on them. And of course, optionality to sell them out. Maybe you can also transfer these, right? You can transfer basically you're transferring an ownership of stake into another wallet. Maybe your wallet gets compromised for security. And of course, you've got, instead of just being stuck with your stake somewhere, you can actually transfer your base token over to another wallet, and of course, protect your ownership of that underlying stake in there as well. So woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, that's a beautiful thing for sure. So it looks like we've got the cool product range. We've got the buyers, what people that are looking to go into it think as well. And of course, then we've got the fact that we've got a progress update on where this is at the moment. So progress to launch that update. Smart contracts are being finalized, and we're starting to integrate with the front-end DApp. That was the update that we had on the 15th of July. Obviously, we're on the 17th, 18th now. We'll then start private testing, then launch public test phase on Pulsechain testnet, and then complete security audits. And after, we will announce a launch date. So that's still to be coming, but reasonably, we could probably expect somewhere in August. So let's see how it goes. And of course, the smart contracts are being finalized. And of course, these are finalized now. We're going to look at that update, and we're starting to integrate with the front-end DApp. That's also happening as well. So we're going to get into those updates. But this is the process after that, of course. They're going to start private testing and then launch public testnet. So you can see it's very much similar to the Hedron update that we had from Alex. Alex saying the Icosa code is published. Pulsechain testnet is soon. And, of course, that was from the 14th, so a day earlier than this update. So a day earlier, which is pretty cool. So let's look at the very latest update building on this one here. And that is Dipcatcher said on the 17th. So that is pretty much today if you're in America, maybe. And, of course, yesterday from my time point of view. Contract is done. Now I'm just finalizing it before full testing and audit. Woo-hoo-hoo! Pump, 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 pump. This is major stuff coming up, folks. Really is exciting. And, of course, these guys I think they have the second or third biggest following in social media out of all the projects, Maximus. Just sitting in behind Liquid Loans. I think they're almost at 10,000 on Twitter. Just sitting, I think Liquid Loans sitting about 11,500. Pretty awesome. I can't remember what Mintra's got. Mintra's got a pretty big following too. But this one's right up there. So huge following with Maximus, and of course getting bigger. I think it's going to eclipse the others in a short order with this next round of launches with these new products. So pretty cool. So the contract is done. I'm finalizing it before full testing and audit. Very, very cool. Then Dipcatcher basically gave us an update just recently, of course, also on the 17th, just a little bit while after there, saying converting old Maxi minting UI into team UI look like 30 minutes. Converting it to support the perpetuals will take like 5 minutes. So that's how easy to set up the front UI or the DApp that you can interact when you're going to mint your team there. And of course, to get team, you need to put in Maxi. There's the Maxi looking good like a boss. So you put your maxi in and you mint out your team. You don't lose your maxi. Your team token is the ownership token. Well, you lose the maxi, but in this particular token, it's not a staking pool. But you put the maxi in, 30% goes to burn, and then the 30% goes to the 369 you get back later in year 3, year 6, year 9. So just got to remember not to get confused with that one. But that is the team token. It's like a treasury DAO, and you get to benefit of all the rest of them, as we said earlier there. Almost tripped myself up. How about that? So anyway, stake team to earn some yield from perpetuals and other bonuses, simple minting and staking rules with baked-in fundamentals, which is pretty exciting, I think. So cool. That is pretty cool. And also the team token encourages people to get on board the base, the trio, Lucky and Dicky, because they get that's where they're getting rewards from. So the more people they onboard, the bigger it will be. It's pretty cool. All right, so let's jump over to, I think we're up to this one. Yeah, so contracts are done. And of course, we've got the UI being set up for the front end. Obviously, they've got to come back and therefore do private testing and launch public testnet. So that's coming up just like in pretty much the same stage as Hedron. And of course, then complete security audits. And after that, they'll announce a launch date. And of course, we're expecting that to be 14-day mint phase. So that's going to be cool. 14 days for this to mint out your perpetuals and stuff. Then, of course, what is the impact of all this on Hex? What is the bullish impact? We've got the fact that we've got Hedron Maximus Mega Hex lockup with bullish lockup and bullish buy pressure. Well, here it is. One of the comments here. Let's hit 1 billion Hex across all pools. 1 billion Hex. Just think about the scale is ginormous. And if you can't think about it, I'm going to visualize it for you. But here it is. Think about that 1 billion Hex locked up across all pools. Let's go back to Richard Hart because Richard Hart's got something to say about that. And of course, way to go now. I just realized I'm on the wrong screen, but hey, that's all right. Let's see what we're up to on this. Let me jump back here. Wrong screen, switch screen, says David. Yeah, I forgot the switch screen, that's for sure. Switch screen, man. Yeah. No need for copy for Superman today, that's for sure. Pearl says, absolutely. I am pumped. Pumped. Okay, so let's go back. We've got a couple of comments. I've got to go back really quickly. Don't know where I got up to there, but hey, we've got this one up here. This is the progress to launch date. September, smart contracts are being finalized, and we're starting to integrate them from the front end DApp. We'll then start private testing, then launch public test phase on Pulsechain testnet, then complete security audits, and after we will announce launch date. So that's coming up. I think that's where I got up to before I did show the video. And of course, the contract is now done. Just finished finalizing it before full testing and audit. That was out yesterday. So that's from Dipcatcher. So pretty much these are in the same phases. Hedron and Maximus are in the same phases of launch. Pretty awesome. And then obviously the update here with the UI front end, the Mint 1 team per maxi pledged, pretty outstanding, looking good. So that's so easy. Very, very cool. And of course, converting to support the perpetuals as well. They're all just pretty easy to do. So really private testing and then public testing on Pulsechain. And then, of course, launching for the Ethereum arrays there. And, of course, you're getting a copy of everything on Pulsechain. Pretty badass there. The impact, of course, they put out yesterday as well. Let's hit 1 billion Hex across all pools. Imagine that. That is mind-blowing. The impact of that is absolutely mega. And so awesome stuff there. Now we're going to go back to the video that I got stuck on.
And then you start clicking through people's wallets.
And we're going to have a look at...
Nothing matters because, it's like miraculous. You've got guys buying something and locking it up for 15 years. Nothing else matters. Nothing matters because it's like miraculous. You wouldn't even think it was possible. When it happened, you don't even believe it. Like I was shocked. I was just staring at the chart like, what the fuck just happened?
So there we are, folks. Just locking it up is the key here. And this is what we've got happening with these second layer derivatives. Absolutely amazing. Imagine 1 billion. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Of course, 150 million bigger pays better bonus for all the products. So if we come back to that, let me just jump over to the screen. Make sure I switch the video back this time. And of course, here we are with these products. Pretty amazing. And of course, base, trio, lucky, decky. Imagine getting 150 million on each of these going in there, either from liquid Hex in the wallets or from buying on the market with buy pressure. That is pretty amazing. And I've got mega Hex lockup. This between Hedron and of course Maximus, and of course a good chance it'll come out in August based on this timeline information that I'm showing you. So I'm showing you it. That's what the information's based on. That's what the estimation, and of course you can see the evidence for yourself. So pretty exciting there. Man, oh man, oh man. Imagine 150 million locked up for each of these. Imagine some massive HSI stakes being made in the Hedron contract. It is pretty powerful. Imagine major HSIs being locked up here, sold to the Icosa contract. Pretty powerful for that. So we could see something pretty big party stuff happening there. Very, very cool. Let us get up to that. So we're up to the final one here. He's also got something, a little bit, a teaser here about the mystery box. Now, I'm not going to go too much into that today because we're probably going to look at that tomorrow. But just pretty cool. Another feature of the Maximus there with the mystery box and 369 years with the base and the trio payout. So cool. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. So what does this all mean? How do we add all this up? Well, we've got the waterfall chart that we've been using on this channel the last couple of days. It's a very good indicative guide of what's happening here. We've got the Hex order here on the left in blue. We're at May 2021. We're at about 25 billion Hex sitting in circulating supply amongst the users or public. And of course, we've had the Pulsechain sacrifice. We've had the Pulsex, etc. People have been sacrificing all that during that year. A whole ton of stuff, a general there. And of course, then we get to the Maxi there. We had 300 million in the Maxi just about. And of course, that's eating up Hex out of circulating supply. So the circulating supply is decreasing with all these red initiatives here as we go. And of course, then we're getting up to Maximus 4. This has got 600 million in it. Remember, Dipcatcher was talking about let's get hit 1 billion across all pools. Woohoo! And of course, that'd be exciting. And of course, that would be, based on my estimation, 150 million bigger pays better times 4 contracts, which is pretty powerful. So these 4 contracts here would be pretty epic. Base, trio, lucky, and decky. And of course, man, oh man, imagine that 4 times 150 mil. What happens if we exceed that? Then we're going to reduce the circulating supply by even more. We could potentially have Maximus upside here. I've got 50% at 300 million. That would be 900 million, and that's not too far away from Dipcatcher's 1 billion across all pools. Now, I assume he's potentially excluding the Maxi, but he may be including it. But in any case, that is pretty close to the numbers that I've got indicated here. So we could get another 900 million. Imagine that. That'd be outstanding. In August, that'd be insane in the membrane for X. Not just eating up liquid Hex in people's wallets, but buy pressure on the market as well. There's not a lot of Hex in the market. Like I said, maybe 185 million was, I think, the last update we had today. Imagine people just getting 10% of 600 million. That's 60 million. Imagine that on the market. That's multi-millions. It's like $4 million, $5 million or more in buying pressure. And of course, we know that it would take 4.3 million at the moment to get the Hex price up. So to 10 cents. It will take probably about maybe 8 million or so, 8.5, maybe 9 million to get us up to 20 cents. So that's kind of where we are at this ballpark at this moment. But we've got massive buy pressure potentially from here. And based on the success of Maxi, these are probably reasonably good probability that we're going to do pretty well in here. Obviously, no one knows how well. We'll have to find out. But it's looking exciting. We didn't have these here before. Even a little while ago, we didn't have these things coming in to eat up the circulating supply. And so we were going to be at the whim of the market. And of course, subject to natural market cycles there. And of course, we've been in our bear market for some time. We're down to 94.5% on the Hex contract. And of course, boding well. I think we obviously had 2.8 cents as the low. We've got this big buying pressure here. Now, I've got HSI stakes here at 350 million here. Obviously, that is looking pretty. It's just kind of indicative at the stage. And then we've got Icosa HSI sell here. So let's say we did 150 million through the HSI process of selling to the Icosa contract. So if we come back to Hedron, let's come back to this one. Come back to Hedron. If we get 150 million Hex locked up in HSI stakes, either through liquid wallets, putting Hex into the HSI stakes. And of course, I showed you how that's done. Basically, people come in here, put the Hex in, and put the days that they want to stake there and stake away. Then that's pretty cool, right? So pretty easily done on that. And as I said in the actual contract here, if you do that, people that sell HSI stakes with a 5-5-5-5-day stake in it get a 10% bonus for selling that in Icosa. And the only way to get Icosa in the first 30 days is to sell HSI stakes, not to stake your Hedron. You've got a minimum staking for Hedron is 30 days. Woo! Feel the pump. I need some pump music. I don't know what that is, but that's pretty cool on that one. So nice. So I've just got a number there. We may hit that. We may not hit it. But it's very bullish that we will. and we will find out soon enough. But in any case, we're going to have some Hex and stuff going into these contracts. And of course, how much is the question there? The potential target of 150 million is a natural target, as I would say. Just like we had a natural target for Maximus of 150 million, we ended up with 294.3 million. Obviously, that's a 15.2-year stake with the full bonuses, particularly mathematically. After 10 years, you get mathematically a way more Hex into the contract. It just goes up in a big exponential. But taking into account, the others still have massive premiums. They're all premium pooled stakes. And of course, they give you optionality as well. And also you can do liquidity provision as well. And of course, you're going to get a copy on Pulsechain, blah, 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 blah. It's pretty exciting. All right, so that's cool. And not mention all the stuff in the future here. We're going to cut off all that, but that's all coming too. Power City Flex, other projects, Heart Wallet, Hex Investment Trust is already in play. So this one here is still in play. And of course, we don't know how much has gone into there so far. They have to hit $10 million, 50 investors. If they do that, then they can migrate from, I've just got 300 million in at the moment, but of course, we don't know how much they've actually bought. Obviously, the price is played in their favor at the moment in terms of being able to buy. In terms of valuation hitting that 10 million, it's been against them because it lowers the price of the portfolio, but that's pretty cool. And then, of course, if they hit that, they can go to the Hex Investment Trust, and who knows what they could do once they go public on NASDAQ or something like that. They could get massive buying in there. Obviously, this doesn't represent the price impact. These are just arbitrary calculations based on simple models at the moment. Then we've got the variety of highest of stakes and Pulsechain coming up, and of course, EB Exchange and other things coming up there. I'm going to refine these numbers in time. But they're just indicative of all the events that we've got coming up. But these ones here are potential targets that we could actually reach in the near term. And as soon as August, if they launch in August, that would be pretty cool. And of course, they're looking good so far. And of course, much of the contracts that Maximus are doing, they're already been done in Maxi. So they're just been modified and updated with a bit of game theory, particularly the team tokens, obviously new, but exciting there. So bullish, folks. Woo-hoo-hoo! So I'm loving it. Hope you guys are loving it too. Pulse Beta's in house. How's it going, Hexy bloke? Very good, Pulse Beta. Very good indeed. So that is kind of a wrap up there. We're going to jump over to the Hex price chart now and talk about the price. So at the moment, we're currently just under 4 cents at the moment. We've had a high of 4 cents and a low of 3.76 cents at the moment. Now look at this Bollinger Band, folks. Woo-hoo-hoo! That Bollinger Band is nice and narrow. Look at that thing, man. We are winding up. We are winding up here. And of course, we're currently got the top of the Bollinger Band is at just under 4 cents. The bottom of it is just over 3.4 cents. That is a gap of about 6/10 of a penny. 6/10 of a penny. That is really getting squeezed out there. Typically, when the Bollinger Bands get squeezed, we get a break to the upside or downside. And at the moment, it's looking super upside. Obviously, not investment advice, just my opinion. But man, it's looking good. We've got higher lows set in. Our low was on the 19th of June. We had 2.8 cents there. You can see it back here, and it's looking really, really good. So looking good there. Got to make sure I take away the comment in my price charts. And a nice one there. That's looking super bullish. And who knows what we could get up. So we're going to, I don't know if I've got my timeline up here. Yeah, I'm going to do my overlay. So here's the overlay. And of course, this is the timeline. This is the 1st of August coming up here. And of course, we know that those projects, as I said, with the updates, that they have finished the coding. They're going to private testnet and then public testnet and audits. And then, of course, announcing announcements for the launch phases for both the Icosa and the Maximus perpetuals and team token. It's going to be insane in the membrane. And of course, we're going to look forward to that. Now, obviously, the Maximus token is moving up its premium as well. So super bullish here. So it's going to be fun to see where this is going to go. Those are the pumpamentals. And of course, no one knows how far we could get to. But if we get to, say, 60 million, we could get back to 10 cents quite easily with, say, $4.3 million to get us back to 10 cents from here. And of course, that would be pretty bullish in that time frame. And of course, we could do much higher. Once we get 10 cents, we could do much higher than there. We need probably in about another, I think it's about another 9 million to get us back to 20 cents. And the Hex price. So looking pretty good in my view between a probably a 10 cent and maybe 15 cent price range at this stage, and we could surpass that. And that's assuming we get about 10% of that 600 million. And of course, that'd be pretty outstanding. Dip catcher, of course, talking about potential for 1 billion Hex across all pools. This is a game changer. And as I say, coming back to Richard, of course, this is really the power of these contracts. So let's listen to this one more time.
It's like miraculous. something and locking it up for 15 years, nothing else matters. Nothing matters, because it's like miraculous. You wouldn't even think it was possible.
So there we are, folks. That is how powerful it is. And this is what we're seeing with these Icosa and the Maximus coming up. It is game changer stuff. And a lot of people are not even aware of it out there. There are a lot of people aware of it that know how to make yield. They're chasing the stuff. They know how good Maximus is, how good Hedron is, but they're really not too aware. So it's going to be fun to see that place out. Spread the word. It's going to be absolutely mega awesome. And of course, this is eating up the circulating supply. As I said in the waterfall chart here, you know, we're just eating this up with the sacrifices, with the Hedron and Maxi. Are just like dreams come true. Honestly, these projects are dreams come true to eat up the circulating supply, put buy pressure on the market. It is so good. Now, on the 26th, 27th of this month, we've got the Federal Reserve doing the interest rate hike. That is going to impact stock markets and stuff like that. The stock market and the crypto market in particular managed to flex off the high inflation rate in the United States of 9%. That's not going away. Prices are going up all across the board. And of course, it's, you know, we're no other woods there. So this is beautiful. Not only is this fantastic for eating up Hex supply, but it's also fantastic for countering these difficult financial times that are coming up. Is super good. So I'm so stoked for that. And of course, we've got many things to come, as you can see in the waterfall chart there. And we could get a very low circulating supply of Hex in the public. Now, this excludes the Origin account. Remember, this is just eating up the circulating supply in the public, or users' hands, as we call it, individual investors like yourself and myself. So super bullish, good indication with these particular projects. So this is where we're looking at the moment, just in this area here. And of course, these are the new ones here. This is the potential upside for Maximus, and maybe HSI Icosa could do 150 mil. Maybe it might blow that out of the water. Maybe people might attract even more. There are a lot of big whales in Hedron supply. And of course, we go to that. There are 83 trillion in there. And of course, we've got the Origin account and other holders there. You know, probably a lot of the big whales that have also claimed in there as well. These are our top holders. And of course, imagine that. It's going to be insane in the membrane to see whether they participate as well in these things here. So cool. Excluding the Origin account, just the other whales. Imagine some of them including in that. The higher premiums. Whales are smart. They'll be chasing the higher premiums. Who knows what will come in to these contracts? Overwatch, the rest of them. Lots of different people could come into these contracts. So it's going to be fascinating to see it as well. Very cool. I'm excited. I hope you are too. Now, we do have some issues coming up. So it's not just all golden goose. We do have the stakes coming up at the moment. But a lot of these, I suggest, if they don't enter into these contracts, will be rolling forward. We have obviously at the beginning of the Hex global stakes. These are the global stakes. And this is the candles for, until the end of the year, 2022. And of course, we've got a big stakes coming out here at the moment with this candle here today. I think we had quite a bit of that coming, or the 18th, so it's coming up. And of course, we've also got these candles coming up here in what day is this? The beginning of August, the 2nd and 3rd of August. We've got 545 million Hex, and of course, this one here, it's not actually connecting properly on there for some reason. There it goes, 426 million Hex. That's beginning of August, so we've still got those issues. But what happens if they participate? That'd be pretty crazy in the membrane. And of course, that's always possible. And then of course, we've got this big contract here, big candle here in the Hex global stakes of 674 million in the 1st of September. So we've got this big gap here in August. And of course, how long will these stakes that are in these 3 big candles up here, what will they do in terms of their staking? Will they continue their passive income plan? Or will they just do short-term stakes, 30 days, 60 days? We saw that in the Whalebot today. We saw some pretty big stakes come out, and of course, restaking for short-term. So here's one here, 393 million in stake there after 370 days. It's a particularly big one. So we've got these ones coming out. What will they do? Let's have a quick look in some of these. Wallet 903 now has 457 million liquid Hex. Woo, what are they going to do? Are they looking at Maximus? Are they looking at these sort of things? Who knows? Another staked wallet has 117, has played around with some trading between Hex and USDC for the past year. Got a huge amount of Hex for about 560 days ago. You got plays like that. Very cool. So that's sort of stuff in play. What else we got going? We've got, we're going to scroll back down here a little bit here. Got a couple other big stakes that have come out. and gone in. So this is 104 million just staked for 20 days. So we've got these short-term stakers, and of course they show up in these big candles that we've got here. And of course, that's staked for 20 days. So we still have these ones short-term rolling over. What will they do with the Hex? Obviously, they're looking out at the market, seeing what's out there. Pretty fascinating. So cool. And so on. So we will be watching that. That's pretty much it. So yeah, I think we could easily quite do, as Maximus and that come out, get back up to 10 cents at a pretty fast method, and potentially up 15 cents, somewhere like that. Seems a reasonable expectation given the bullishness of Maximus and stuff. So that's pretty much where I think it is. We know the charts can turn around pretty quick. And of course, Hex now has the fundamentals in play. We didn't have them before. This has only just recently happened because the teams are moving so fast. And of course, these second layer derivative products are direct benefits to Hex. They isolate capital, goes directly to Hex. This is not other projects that are targeting the Hex market, Hex skins and stuff, and taking capital out. Right, this is stuff that's going directly into Hex and buying Hex up, or taking Hex out of the circulating supply. Both of those are goods, public goods for the rest of us. And of course, the products themselves, Icosa and Maximus, are fantastically designed to benefit the investors as well. So it's a win, and super bullish for the Hex price. So it's going to be fascinating to see that play out. And of course, we have seen when we get a move on, we can get some really big candles, 10-cent day candles even, when the market moves on there. I suspect that we'll get a nice little ratchet up, or just ratchet up slowly, but you just never know, depending on who plays ball with these contracts that comes in. But I certainly know the retail book, particularly large retailer holders, will be very interested in getting these high yields with the Maxi, especially with these other products, especially after the Maxi did so well with this premium, 100% premium. That's pretty amazing in a bear market, insane in the membrane. So very, very cool. Now, that's pretty much a wrap-up on there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It is pretty insane in the membrane. All right, let's get into some other comments here. We've got a few others. Pearl says, Hex, all-time highs. Woo-hoo-hoo, 52 cents. Hey, you just never know. We're going to be going back pretty fast, I think. The price is going to ratchet up pretty fast. Don't be surprised. We also saw some pretty bullish stuff here from Richard today. So you can find most of these tweets on Maximus. So all these tweets on the Maximus one here. And of course, you can find all those sites there. Also, Maximus Cash. So I'm going to post that in the chat there as well. Bam. And we got the Brazil says, check out his latest tweet and realize Hex is super scarce and has all the potential to go way up. So let's pull up that tweet from Briz there. Let me see. So I'm just trying to warn you guys, this is going to turn around real fast. That's all I'm saying. And I hope you guys, if you're not familiar with these, many of you are that watch this channel. But if you're not, be very aware that things are going to turn around pretty fast. Obviously not investment advice. I'm just a YouTuber. But that's pretty crazy stuff happening here in the markets at the moment. And it's happening fast. It's going to take a lot of people off guard, especially with people after this 94.5% retrace. So here's one here that Briz has posted us here. Half the Hex supply is just sitting there off market. Hex is so much more scarce than everyone thinks. And there is so much potential for it to go so much scarcer. Imagine if the owner of this wallet wants Hex to outperform everything in the next bull market. And of course, here we are sitting on $280 million of DAI stable there. Pretty crazy in the membrane. Of course, we talked about that. So I'm just saying, don't let the bear market knock you off the Hex wagon and into an S coin crack. That's a good comment. Very, very cool. Thanks, Briz, for that. That is exactly the sentiment at play. Very cool. Keep your eye on the prize. Hex is the prize. Just think of which 3RH products this money will be funded into. That's a very good point there, Briz. Nice. All right, let's jump out of that. And what else we got going on there? Briz got a few other comments, I think. KD says, Dip Cat Golki are the A team. Woohoo! They are, man. They are, man. So, like I say, we've got this bear market. We've had this pullback. But Hex has been in the bear market early. It got in the bear market early. It already had its peak in September. It's had its big pullback, over 3/4 of a year. And, of course, here we are with the circulating supply about to get eaten up by these products. It's huge, man. This is the sort of info that you want to know about because it's going to be fascinating to see it play out. We saw how well Maxi did, and it really is going to be fun to watch. It's self-fulfilling, too. It's self-fulfilling. So people that get in there, they want the high yields. If they have to buy off the market, they push the price up. And so it raises their price fundamental. Richard said on the conference, yes, you get a great yield in Hex, and you do. It's spectacular. but you also get the price appreciation. That's the pump metal. And over time, as the circulating supply gets eaten up as well, the long-term prices keeps going up, just like what's happened to Bitcoin over the years. It's gone up and up, and now it's, got 69,000, whatever. It keeps going up. And of course, this is superior, right? Hex is superior, and these products are superior. So you can imagine the long game. And as I showed you in the waterfall chart, you can see how it's getting eaten up. That's what this is all about. How is the circulating supply disappearing to lift the long-term price up? And of course, it's exciting to see. And of course, in the short term, these products also to give price buying pressure. So we've got a massive mega Hex lockup, and of course, which is in this chart. And of course, we've got massive, buy pressure as well. Bullish price pressure is the way I'd like to describe it. Because obviously, I don't know the future. We're just playing probability here based on products that didn't exist and now exist. And this is a game changer directly locking up. And of course, Richard's Hart video that I played like 10 times in this live stream shows you this is the main game. Get the Hex off the market. You reduce the velocity of Hex crypto moving around. That is the game changer. That's the play. And of course, awesome. Woohoo! All right. So water, he isn't scarce. Dolphins and sharks are not going to dump straight away and cash out hundreds of millions or more if even given a chance. The fact that Richard created something that has you lock up your money for 15 years means he agrees with Maddie. World War says he's the same person now and in the future and would rather have the money now than later. That's just humans. Everyone wants their cake and eat it. True that. The whole market is pumping right now, it seems, says Briz. And Walter Wall says, Dipcatcher said Hex might stay at these levels for 2-3 more years in the bear, says Walter Wall. Not with people buying Hex on the market to get into these products. They won't. They're Walter Wall. He said it on stream 2 days ago. Yeah, but that's counter to the buying of the contracts. Better accumulate then says, hey, Walter Wall, you can always not buy. That's your choice. That's all I'm going to say. Jonathan Capel says that was cool. Richard retweeted Robbie's video. Robbie has a bunch of great clips of Richard. He certainly does, Jonathan. Absolutely. Yeah. So we're going to have a certain amount of buy pressure in the market. And of course, we don't know what it's going to be, but we have products that are actually going to drive that buying. And that's the key outtake from this. So watch what happens in the coming months. And of course, we've got the Hex chart at the moment looking super good for a breakout to the upside. The other thing, of course, is that we've got the DMI here. The buyers have crossed over. The sellers have gone down. We've also got that pre-position as well, looking quite good at the moment for Hex. So watch the space. Now, we're still quite a few weeks to go. We've still got the private testing for both contracts. We've still got the public testing and, of course, the audit. So that's still to play out. And, of course, then we've got a launch date. So I'm presuming it's going to be in August. So that's hence the date. And, of course, you've seen all the evidence for all of that stuff in this live stream. So there we are. Now, woohoo! Let's see how we get on. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking good. What other projects have this stuff, man? This is the stuff that we've got looking forward to as well. And, of course, Power City Flex. We're going to get that on Power City Flex on this channel as well. Also, we've got the Heart Wallet coming up with Sacrificing Hex. This is game changer stuff, man. Crazy stuff there. We're not sitting around in the bear market for that long. That's certainly not going to be staying around that long, for sure, with all these products coming out as well. And, of course, the Hex Investment Trust as well, and variety of highest stakes coming out at the end of the year. So there's more the end of the year. Pulsechain, whenever that comes out, it's going to have a wealth effect and a network effect on both chains. And, of course, then the EB exchange as well, going to have potentially massive impact as well. All eating up the circulating supply. It's going to be fascinating to see that out. And obviously, as price goes up, some of the large whales that might have sold out, they realize, actually, I'm actually on a good thing here, and I'm only going to sell a little bit of my position. So as the people get more confidence in the value chain, the propensity for the larger holders to sell the whole bag down increases. Propensity to sell the large bag down completely decreases. And of course, they just sell a little bit here and there because they know they're in a high value chain. And that's the way it goes. So that's true for Hex as well. As they see Hex supply getting lower and lower, maybe they've got a lot, but maybe the rest of the market, they go, oh, I don't need to really sell too much. The price is going up. And so that also helps as well. Doesn't mean that we don't have dips in the market. We don't have parabolic cycles. Obviously, we've had 13 of those already, but it bodes well for the future. So really excited. Woohoo! Hope you guys are excited, man. That's so cool. Now, if these products weren't here, I would not be doing this video because I would be saying we're just going to go with the altcoins. We may be slightly decorrelated from the market, but we're going to have to wait a bit of time before we're going to eat this up. But the fact that we've got these products about to eat up some Hex it's going to be crazy. Whether it's liquid hex in the bag and it doesn't impact the market, or whether it's both liquid hex in your privates going into, the wallets going into these contracts, or whether it's actually a certain amount of hex being bought on the market. We will find out. There's an empirical question we're going to find out, but I suggest to you that a certain amount of the market hex will have to be bought, and there's not much of it on the market. We know that at the moment it's very, very low. Let's go see how low it is, and of course we're going to go look into crypto as well. We're going to look into crypto and see what the supply is at the moment, and of course you can see at the moment there is not a lot of supply around. Just have a look here at the contracts here. 182, almost 183 million hex around at the moment amongst all the pools. So there's not a lot of hex there. If we start getting some decent buying from the Maximus, people that are wanting to get hex for the Maximus perpetuals, that's the base token, the trio, the lucky, and the Dexy token. And of course, that's also going to have an impact on Maxi token as well, because people need that for the team token. What happens if people decide to get all of these and also get the team token as well? That way they benefit from half of the bigger pays better bonus. And of course, the more future products as well, the team token will benefit from future products that the Maxi team have indicated they're going to do too. So it's pretty bullish on that front. Nice. All right. Cool VIP. That's where we are at this stage. Looking good. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Brizos says, yeah, don't kill the golden goose. Shave the interest off. Yeah, I think there'll be a certain amount. You see that in the Ethereum, some of the big whales, as the chain gets bigger, they don't sell all their bags down. They sell a part of their bags. Maybe they're going to buy a house for $2 million. They might sell $2 million because they're worth $100 million. And they buy a house with that. So they're going to get a bit of that kind of behavior as people gain more confidence in the chain. Because when previously some of the people that have gone into Hex, they might have put in a small amount of money, and of course they sold out at the highs, they dumped their bags, and away they go, right? But they didn't anticipate the circulating supply coming off the market. They didn't anticipate Maxi, and of course riding up to the next bull market. So it's going to be pretty cool. Certainly the Maxi and Hedron are going to facilitate that happening faster, the price appreciation. So it's going to be good. It's inevitable in the sense that people are going to buy off the market. And of course, we saw that with Maxi. So that is the underlying presumption there. So cool. Yeah, get the rockets in, man. The rockets are in the house. Woohoo! All right, so some bullish stuff there. And of course, we've got Power City Flex coming up too. That's going to also eat up more Hex supply. Can you see it? It is insane in the membrane. Hopefully this chart, you'll be able to follow this chart. And of course, you can see the indication here is super bullish. I'm going to update this as well, make it even more easier to follow. But at the moment, that's pretty cool. 600 million potentially. Maybe even if we do better than that, we could even get another 3 million upside. And of course, with Icosa, maybe we'll get 150 million upside. Maybe do better. Who knows? Question mark. Maybe we'll do less. I don't know. We'll find out. And of course, both of them probably launching pretty similar times. It's going to be interesting, the competition between the two as well. The other thing, of course, is that we've got Power City Flex coming up there as well. We don't know when it's going to launch. I'm going to get the Power City on here. We'll try and drill into that and find any secrets about that. And of course, I think that's going to be pretty well as well. Now, that's going to be sitting inside a whole ecosystem. So that's going to be fun to play out. And of course, we probably get some new projects coming in the future as well. So nice. That is just what we're expecting in the near term. It's super good for Hex, eating that circulating supply. That's been my dream the whole time, is getting rid of the circulating supply because that's the main game. And that's what Richard says too in the video. And it's so good that Robbie Davidson posted it today on Richard Hart's channel, because that is the main game for sure. All right. Good afternoon, says Get Hex. Hey, good to see you, Get Hex. Don't forget that I'm on Crypto 7. I got to say it right. I said it wrong before. Crypto 7 tonight in a couple of hours time. So what's that? Just under 3 hours, about 2 hours and 45 minutes. I'll be on Crypto 7, Crypto 7, and he is in the UK. So he's a YouTuber in the UK, about similar size to this channel. And of course, we'll be on there, have fun talking about Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex. So it should be good. All right, we're coming up to now 15 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed that information, particularly if you're not aware of it. I guess that would be really, really cool. And watch the space, man. Let's see how we get on in August as we lead up to this. It's going to be so much fun to see it play out. Bam, bam, bam. And let's see. This is eminently on a breakout, regardless of these contracts. The price chart is looking to break up or down. And I suggest to you it's probably going to break up. So it's looking good on the charts all around, regardless of the Hedron and Maxi there. But maybe some people are buying already for these contracts already. So maybe people are slowly itching their ways in as well. So cool. Now, the people that don't know about these things happening, they're going to miss the boat, right? They're going to be buying higher, right? Because they're going to see the chart go green and they go, why did it suddenly go up? I thought we were in a bear market and everything was at the end of the world, and we were going down to 1 cent, 0.5 cent. And, you know, that's kind of where their heads are spaced, right? We've got most of the markets moved to that position. We're in a bear. We're going down still. It's doom and gloom. But of course, a lot of them not thinking about the implications of Maxi and the implications of Icosa here. And, of course, this is going to happen fast. So that's the upside there. So let's see how we get on. Looking good at this stage, in my opinion. Obviously not investment advice. I'm just a YouTuber, just like all the other YouTubers that give their opinions on their channels as well. GetHex says, awesome. We'll be watching Superman. I appreciate that. Yeah, I only made one bumble this time, GetHex. I had one video. I try to avoid doing that, but I get so excited that sometimes I miss the fact that I leave it on certain pages there, just the way it goes. Woohoo! All right, let's jump away. Bam, bam. Let's watch this video one more time of Richard, because it really is inspirational. So cool.
Happened. You don't even believe it. Well, it's done that over and over again.
It would have
as long as you've got guys buying something and locking it up for 15 years, nothing else matters. Nothing matters, because you can't, it's like miraculous. You wouldn't even think it was possible. Like you wouldn't happen. You don't even believe it. Like I was shocked. I was just staring at the chart like, what the fuck just happened?
So you see what I mean? He's talking about, this is how important it is. It really is so important, and it's good to see it happening. Woohoo! All right, let's pull up. We're going to pull up another video here. Let us pull in. We're going to pull in the liquid loans. If you haven't checked this out, we're going to wrap up a few things here. We're going to probably look at a few other topics here. Those were the main topics, and so we've got liquid loans in here. Now, I love that video. I think that's so cool. I mean, look at that stuff. It's pretty neat. Look, you got borrowing USDL there. You can borrow USDL. That stable coin, it's not going to be about 4 to 8 weeks after Pulsechain launches for liquid loans when this DApp launches. So it's 4 to 6 weeks. So even after, we've got to wait a long time for Pulsechain, but we've got to wait another 4 to 8 weeks after that. And of course, they're going to need price feeds for Pulse. Obviously, their Pulsex will be up for a while. There'll possibly be other DEXs that come in early. And of course, we'll have a price. They need, obviously, probably Chainlink there and to have price feeds with oracles. So that's going to be an issue for them to have that up and running. And of course, they'll be in dialogues about making that happen there. So that's cool. So we're going to expect to see that. We've also, so you'll be able to borrow USDL. I presume a USDL will be, you put your Pulse in, you get a USDL out there. And of course, you got your collateral ratio. That's the main thing that you got to take into account there. Then after that, of course, we suspect that we will USDL will become the dominant native token, stable coin on Pulsechain. I suspect it's going to do very well. We have got, the Hex Godwell has participated in the sacrifice. He's actually delayed his stuff out for 2 years, so he's not getting his token for 2 years. Out of all the loan tokens issued, we're only expecting about 25% of all loan tokens to be issued, and maybe only 80% goes into the staking pool. So it's going to be pretty interesting too. So yeah, pretty bullish. USDL, we are expecting sacrifices and to come out soon. The sacrifice list probably this week is my guess, based on the previous update from CC and Matt and Jesse the Pit Boss, who provided us this cool teaser here. So it's going to be pretty cool. People obviously, once they borrow USDL, people can stake USDL, which is pretty nice. So we're going to have the staking tab there. Where's the staking tab? It's flowing through here. borrow. We've got the dark mode and the day mode, the night mode and the day mode. Stake USDL, so you can stake that. Here's the staking here, so you can put USDL and stake it, which is pretty cool. You can put, they've got different percentages in there. Adjust the USDL amount to deposit or withdraw, so it's pretty cool. Pool share has your pool share as well. There's your total amount of USDL staked, which is pretty nice. Pool share, liquidation gain, and reward. I think it's really claim PLS and loan token. Isn't that going to be juicy? Everyone's after passive income, right? And obviously everyone's, bring Pulsechain or Pulsechain now, which is understandable. And of course, it's been about a year now. It's been a year since we had Pulsechain Sacrifice start. And of course, here is what people are looking forward to, getting this passive income. In this case, PLS and loan token, juicy, juicy, juicy. Like I said, we may only get maybe 80% of the loan token might get staked to start off with. We only get 25% possibly at the beginning. And of course, 80% at stake. Maybe the other stuff goes into liquidity pools and sits in people's wallets and all sorts of weird things like that. So it's going to be interesting to see that. We've got obviously, so borrow USDL, stake USDL. We've got that in the preview there. We've got stake loan. So we've got stake loan there. Let's make sure that's looking good. We've got stake loan. And so you can stake your loan token. So that's the other token. We've got the USDL, the stablecoin, which I think is going to be the premium native stablecoin on Pulsechain. Obviously, at first, we're going to have bridged over stables like USDC, DAI, and things like that. But this would be pretty cool, at least USDC and USD Tether, I think it is. And maybe DAI too, I think was in there. So that's going to be cool. And so, yeah, everyone's going to enjoy that with stake loan token. You'll be able to claim PLS and loan token there. Nice. I like that. So good. I'm just looking. I got stuck on there because it looks so good. All right. So we've got that. Let's look at. We've got redeem USDL. So maybe you want to take USDL. You could even buy USDL, right? You buy it on the liquidity, and then you want to redeem it. I guess there'd be cases where you might want to do that. I'm just trying to think through that. But there we are. You can put USDL there, redeem it. Because please note that redemption is not for repaying your loan. You're not repaying your loan. You're just redeeming the USDL that was issued. And when people put their pulse in there to repay your loan, adjust your vault on the window withdraw tab. So cool. That is it. You'll receive a certain amount of PLS in exchange for USDL. When you put your USDL in, this one's got 875. It's going to get 22,000 pulse back. Obviously, this is based, I think it's a 3-cent price they've been using in this one. 4-cent price here. Liquidation price. Oh, that's a liquidation price. Okay. So it's a bit different. What price? Oh, they got 8 cents. I think they got 8 cents up here on the top right here. I think it says 8 cents on the pulse there. This using an arbitrary price in there. 8 cents is pretty cool. We'd all like pretty much 8-cent pulse there. That'd be pretty good. I see you'd be retired. That's probably the case for those who have sacrificed. So cool. That's pretty neat. So they got that. What else? They got liquidation on the menu there too. People liquidating. So yeah, risky vaults there, liquidating risky vaults, liquidate. Click the liquidate process. I guess that's what you do. You click the liquidate the loans. They got the low collateral. So these guys have 141% collateral. Remember, the minimum is 110%. And of course, the overall collateral ratio is 150. So if the whole network, if everyone's highly leveraged, then if it hits 150%, the worst ones will get liquidated automatically by the contract, as I understand it. So that's pretty much that. We've got people with higher liquidation collateral ratios above there. So cool. You got the PLS on the left-hand side. That's collateral. And people borrowed stable coins on the middle here. And that's their ratio. So cool. And these are the different owners of those pools. So this one at the bottom, if there was 150% hit, that would get liquidated. And this one would probably be next, I would say. It's just over 150, so it might survive. That's pretty cool on the liquidation. What else? We got analytics. Analytics looks pretty good. You got obviously USDL versus loan holders over time. Total value locked in there, and excluding the stability pool. You got your hourly loan change 7 days, and total USDL supply. Obviously, that's pretty important too. That's probably going to get flooded across a number of liquidity pools. And as I say, I think it'll become the premium native stable coin, maybe the only one that ever gets minted. Who knows? I'm sure there'll be other algorithmic ones come into play. We've got USDL minted burn 7 days and number of vaults as well. Pretty cool. Woohoo! Nice. They got analytics to support. That's the dashboard there too. Stability pool, loan reward, APR, protocol revenue, loan price. That protocol revenue will be pretty interesting on the USDL side. Loan staking APR, that everyone will be wanting to know what that is. They got the overall collateralization, and here they got 404%. That's pretty high actually. I think liquidity is normally like it's pretty low. on liquidity, but obviously it's been operating pretty well. I think it's been getting like 280%, stuff like that. It's pretty, I think that's pretty low. So cool. That's the analytics dashboard. What else we got there? Validator. Also got the validator and knowledge base and how-to videos. So some extras there. I suspect that the good chance that Liquid Lines will be the top validator. That's my what I think is going to happen there because of the Hex Godwell and other people that participate in the space. It'd be interesting to see the Hex Godwell participate in the Liquid Lines platform itself rather than just the loan token. That'd be interesting. And other large holders, we expect a lot of large users to use Liquid Lines is probably my expectation there. So cool on that. That is pretty fun. Hey, we're coming up to an hour and 25 minutes. Not too bad at all. Let's get into some of the comments here. Hex Biker in the house from the UK. Let's jump over to the screen here. I managed to switch it from the video to the screen. Thank goodness for that. Super late to the party, Superman. We'll hit the rewind button and enjoy. Thanks, Hex Biker. Appreciate it. And welcome from the UK. Pearls in the house there. Hey, I'm going to be on Crypto 7 in about 2.5 hours time. That is the, I think, second or third time I've ever been on another YouTube channel. So that should be a bit of fun. We'll have a good talk about Pulsechain and Hex and things. Wookie in the house. Woohoo! Hey, good to see Wookie. And Pearl there too. I think I need a drink, says Wookie. Yeah, me too, probably. And good, we'll have more funds to get some, says Get Hex. And I've got the cherries on top. That's true. Liquid Lines are shaping up nicely. I think so too, KD. It took probably a bit longer than we expected, but, quality products is what the CEO CC's after. And, of course, Pulsechain's not around the corner, so we've got plenty of time to get that out of the gate there. You better get your vitamin count up, Super, keeping up with all of this pump action. I think you're right there, GetX. I think you're right. Where is I got my little copy here. Cheers, everybody. Nice one. All right, so, I'll post the Crypto 7 live stream probably in Discord and on the community tab. Give you guys a heads up about that and maybe share it around. Yeah, cool. All right, that's at 2.5 hours time from now, I think. So yeah, let me just double check on the old let me have a check on the old line here. I think I've got some updates. Let me look. What time we have it in here? Yes. Just trying to see what time I've got on that. I think that's 2.5 hours from now. Anyway, 2.5 hours from now. It's going to be UK time, so it'll be in the morning UK time on the Monday. I think it's going to be 10 p.m. 10 a.m. Sorry, 10 a.m. I think it is somewhere in that ballpark. 9:30. No, 9:30 a.m. or something like 10:38. No, 10:30. 10:30. Yeah, 10:30 around that time. Tony Stars in the house there. Howdy all. Good to see you. Pearl says nice collab. Yeah, nice collab. Hopefully, it's going to be fun. Woo! All right. Hey, we're doing pretty well. 48 people watching. Hey, big welcome everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. And let's see how we're doing with the channel at the moment. On the analytics, we're up to 4,953 subscribers. Woo! Hey, we're only 47 away from 5,000. Can you believe it? And of course, you guys have been on the journey with me, so it's been a lot of fun as well. GetX says, "Ciao, catch you up on Crypto 7 stream." Yeah, I'll see you then. Get Hex, nice one. And don't forget to do a few woohoos. Jonathan Parler says, "A bunch of great info tonight, Superman." As always, thanks, Jonathan. I appreciate that. Hey, that's what it's all about on this channel. Giving you guys a heads up if you're not familiar with this info. Hopefully, I'm trying to bring it all together for you so that you can see how awesome this stuff is as well. So, people don't know the future. Richard Hart's not a clairvoyant. I'm not a clairvoyant, but we're playing probability. And of course, we've got huge things coming into the ecosystem that we couldn't even have thought about before because of some very smart people innovating in the space, particularly in the Hex space. And of course, it's going to help us all. It's going to be bullish. It's self-fulfilling too. You get into it, you self-fulfill the outcome. It's pretty neat. I love it. I love that sort of stuff. Tony Starr in the house with the smash punches. Looking good. All right. So, if you haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, and, of course, get into Discord. I'm going to wrap it up now. An hour and a half. That's pretty good. Of course, yesterday I did about 8 hours. The day before I did about 8 hours. And the day before that I did about 8 hours. So it's probably good to wrap up after an hour and a half. And we're going to play out some funky music, as always, with our Power City core teaser. Also, another great project. So we've talked about Maximus, talked about Hedron, Icosa. We've talked about Liquid Loans and, of course, Power City. These are 4 of my top 5 projects. And of course, outside of Pulse and Pulsex and Hex, these are really the top ones for me. So very, very cool. There are one or two other projects I also added in my top 10. I'd probably put in, which would probably be Mintra and potentially Fiat as well, although not a lot of people have access to that. So it was a pretty short-lived sacrifice. Jonathan Capella says, I learned a bunch more about Hedron Icosa tonight. Thank you. You're welcome. Night all, says KD. And we've got the party on already, says Get Hex. And cheers, all a bit late, but keep it real, says Tony Starr. Hey, we're keeping it real for sure, 100%. All right, let's play some music. Here we go. Woohoo! Party on. Peace out. Lots of love. See you on Crypto 7. Bumping it.
So as everyone knows, it's been a real rough period for crypto investors, and many are actually saying, though, that this turmoil is having something of a cathartic effect, right? In the sense that, listen, it gets rid of the poorly run coins and companies and even some bad actors. Meanwhile, the community itself has really turned into a whole bunch of individual tribes, a lot of believers, of course, committed to their favorite coins. In fact, yesterday I read where a whale reportedly bought 20 million Shiba Inu for 210 million. That would have been the largest purchase in history there. I do want to bring in now Hex.com founder Richard Hart. You know, Richard, you are the man behind Hex, and it's been some tough sledding for you, like everyone else of late. Just tell us exactly, you know, what it is, why you created it.
Well, I mean, Bitcoin's got a lot of stuff it can't do. So, you know, right now you're seeing everyone lose all their money, and I do mean all of their money, to people that said they would give them more coins. They tried to earn yield on their Bitcoin. They gave their keys to somebody else, which is the opposite of why crypto was invented. It was invented to get rid of middlemen. So what does everyone do? They give their keys to middlemen that have a good story. They're going to give you some interest. I invented something that I gave for free to Bitcoin holders to let them generate yield by holding their own keys without giving them to somebody else.
So I did some research, and I want to just ask you about a couple of things, because you've got some detractors out there. It might be a easy way of saying it. And I saw one article and one FI titled "Richard Hart's Hex Token is a Brilliant Scam." It says that the biggest problem with Hex is that the answers you just referred to being paid, but the token doesn't generate revenue. So the only place money can come from is other investors. That would be a Ponzi scheme, no matter how much you spend it. And then, of course, it goes on to say you lay it on thick. What do you say to an article like that? What do you say to an article like that?
Everyone misuses these words. A Ponzi scheme is a fraudulent endeavor where people are told they're going to get paid more from a business activity that doesn't really exist. It's fraudulent. And there's a middleman that pays you your rewards. The family likeness test would say that Hex is most similar to Bitcoin, where miners create money out of thin air and pay themselves their own rewards through the fruits of their own labor. And therefore, since there's no middleman, since you mint your own coins, it cannot be a Ponzi. It can be a bubble, which is why the price drops 85% every 3 or 4 years. But then it goes on to make new all-time highs. So Bitcoin's dropped 85% 3 or 4 times now, and yet it's gone up 690 million%, from a penny to $69,000. And so all Hex is Bitcoin with a proof of work change, where we pay people inflation to hold the price up through staking instead of paying them to destroy the environment through SHA-256 mining. So that's all it is. It's Bitcoin with a proof of work chain.
I've been bringing a lot of folks on in your space because I'm trying to learn all of this. And again, when people found out you were coming on, I got a whole bunch of articles. There's another one I want to ask you about because, listen, obviously you've got a pretty strong following, but there was one in AZ Coin. And this is 2019. And it says worrisome Hex founder Richard Hart was revealed to be a notorious scammer known as the Spam King. Again, listen.
I got sued for $500 in civil court 20 years ago. And I couldn't pay for a lawyer to defend myself because in small claims court, you can't have a lawyer defend you.
Okay.
It would have cost me more than $500 to fly to Washington to go win the case. So I don't think being sued for $500 in small claims court makes you a spam king.
Richard, where do we go from here with respect to the overall crypto space, Bitcoin, and Hex itself?
I called the top on the day. Everyone else told you Bitcoin was going to 100,000. I told you it was going down to 10,000. Why? Because it drops 85% every once in a while. But people, they forget that happens. They always think that this time's different. Nope, this time's not different. Are people paying $1 million for JPEGs, or more accurately, serial numbers loosely related to JPEGs, which may or may not still be hosted on the internet? Yes, they are. As long as people are doing that, you have to have a crash. The reality will not let idiots that buy JPEGs for $1 million survive.
For Hex, right? I understand you control like 88%.
Oh, Hex.
People want to know, as they're getting in, are you not getting out?
The best time, the origin address has never sold a single Hex. Vitalik dumps Ethereum on your head all the time. The Ethereum Foundation dumps Ethereum on your head all the time. Chainlink founder dumps Chainlink on your head all the time. The origin address in Hex has never sold a single coin, ever. If you want to know who's dumping, just go look. It's all on chain. All of Hex's trading's on chain. Unlike that crap that you see, the fake volume and fake exchange trading you see for all the other coins. All of our stuff's on chain. You can see who sold, when they bought, what other coins they like, when they're locked up for. It's a miracle. It's the most transparent trading in the entire industry.
All right. Hey, that's all the time we have. I appreciate you coming on, and I do say...
You know I called the top on the day, right?
I did not know that. I did not know that. I'm waiting for you to call I thought you were going to come on the show and call the bottom, though. That's what I'm looking for.
I'll call the bottom when it's 11K.
All right,
and then maybe we go a little deeper.
Sounds good. Richard, thank you very much.